Hey guys, what is going on? This is Wrestlelamia back with another episode. Like any entertainment medium, professional wrestling is known for its performers having a zest for living, particularly when it comes to partaking of alcohol and drugs. Sadly, more than a few wrestlers have succumbed to personal demons, seeing their lives and careers harmed or even ruined by overindulgence. However, not all wrestlers partake of recreational drugs and alcohol. Join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at 12 wrestlers or teams who espouse a straight-edge lifestyle. First, what do people mean by a straight-edge lifestyle? According to the site study.com, straight edge is a subculture, a lifestyle, a movement, and for some, an identity. The term itself came from a Minor Threat song, Straight Edge, from the early 1980s, which decried the self-indulgent and nihilistic ways of the punk community at the time. It, and a few other songs with similar messages, provided the basis for what became straight edge. The straight edge scene grew quickly within the US, peaking in the late 1980s, and it soon spread to Canada and other cities across the world. While exact interpretations vary across locations, scenes, and individuals, there are some aspects of it which have remained stable over time and across the world. The name, and part of the message behind the straight edge culture came from a Minor Threat song. No drinking, no drugs, no smoking. These are the primary tenets of the straight edge subculture. In general, it's centered around abstinence as a mean of rebellion. Most would agree that to be considered straight edge, you must abstain from consuming alcohol and drugs, smoking cigarettes, but many edge individuals choose to abstain from other substances as well. Some avoid caffeine and medicinal drugs, and even more choose to be vegetarian or vegan. Fundamentally, they strive for clean living and positivity and view alcohol, drugs, and sex as crutches for people to forget their unhappiness. In terms of professional wrestling, there's one elephant in the room that needs to be addressed: performance-enhancing drugs, aka PEDs. There's no getting around the fact that some wrestlers take PEDs, and while the WWE has its wellness policy, allegations about selective enforcement as well as common sense, i.e. looking at the musculature of some WWE superstars, suggests wrestlers are using PEDs. Unfortunately, short of admitted use, it's difficult to be certain, so unless a wrestler admits they use PEDs without being under a doctor's care, we'll assume anyone on our list does not abuse PEDs. To be fair, the same can be said for wrestlers who claim to live a straight-edge lifestyle. Back in the 1980s, wrestler Jake the Snake Roberts made public service announcements, telling fans to just say no to drugs. So if a wrestler says they're straight edge, we'll take them at their word unless the evidence suggests otherwise. As you know, CM Punk is the most well-known proponent of the straight edge lifestyle, something he's discussed in interviews and even used as part of his character, particularly when he plays a heel. During an episode of his podcast, Something to Wrestle, Bruce Pritchard recalls learning about Punk's lifestyle, as well as the one time he made an exception to his straight-edge philosophy. I looked at him and I said, "So you don't drink, you don't do drugs, you don't do anything?" CM Punk says, "No, but I'm not a prude either." I said, "Okay, explain that." So he explained that he really didn't want to judge others that did choose this lifestyle, and this is what got him over with me automatically. He was in Kansas City or St. Louis or somewhere, and it was Harley Race's birthday. And he was in a camp, Harley's camp, and they were out at a restaurant bar type thing, and they wanted to do everybody got shots for Harley's birthday. Now Punk doesn't drink, doesn't do drugs, but he took a shot out of respect for Harley Race. And he goes, "You know, Harley asked me to do it. One shot's not gonna kill me. I'm not gonna get hammered. I took a shot out of respect for Harley Race." And for whatever reason, I just thought that was cool. That just kinda showed the love and passion he had for the business and respect for the old-timers. He didn't have to, and it would have been fine. There are different degrees of a straight-edge lifestyle, such as obtaining from all drugs, legal and illegal, but for our definition, we're going with individuals who abstain from alcohol, tobacco, illegal drugs, and casual sex. Number 1. Jerry the King Lawler. Wrestling legend Jerry Lawler is as straight edge as it gets when it comes to drugs and alcohol, a well-known fact in the wrestling community, and one he discussed in his memoir, It's Good to Be King Sometimes. I've never in my entire life had an alcoholic drink, smoked a cigarette, or taken a recreational drug of any kind. I've never wanted to, never had the urge to. God knows it's not from any religious conviction or moral objection. I've never wanted to try a drink or smoke. Someone told me that, at first, beer tastes awful, but you develop a taste for it. I just never wanted to try anything that tastes awful. While the King of Wrestling abstains from drugs and alcohol, he does declare his fondness for one thing in particular. No beer, no whiskey, no wine, nothing, not even a sip, nor have I ever smoked, and no drugs either, ever. So that pretty much leaves one vice: sex. Now that I can't say I've never tried. As a matter of fact, I've probably made up for the lack of all the other vices with the amount of sex that I've partaken in. While the King enjoys a good shag, we've yet to hear of him engaging in casual sex, so he's a good candidate for a straight-edge wrestler. Number 2. The Young Bucks. The Young Bucks are known for their cutting-edge approach to marketing and a wild style in the ring. Behind the scenes, they're down to earth. According to a 2016 article, Matt and Nick Massey, the men behind the gimmick, are each married fathers of 2 children, straight-edge sons of a minister who say a prayer before every single match. Back in 2018, Matt Jackson took issue with a Twitter troll who accused him of using PEDs. Matt Jackson of the Young Bucks posted a photo of himself before yesterday's ROH event in London and received a response from an individual who said, "Wow dude, sorry, but you look terrible. Those PEDs are not for you." Matt wrote back, "I'm 100% drug-free, prick." Nick and Matt have noted on multiple occasions that they are straight edge and have been bulking up as they previously announced they're moving to the heavyweight division. Number 3. Kenny Omega. AEW's Young Bucks aren't the promotion's only straight edge stars, although Wrestlelamia thinks it's safe to say that Chris "a bit of the public" Jericho is not straight edge. Kenny Omega's nickname The Cleaner could also be Mr. Clean, a man who states he's straight edge on his Twitter account, no alcohol, tobacco, or drugs. Number 4. The Viking Experience. After successful runs as War Machine in Ring of Honor and New Japan Wrestling, Todd Smith and Raymond Rowe transformed into the War Raiders on NXT and the Viking Raiders on Raw. Boasting an unusual look, this burly team also lives a lifestyle much different than most WWE superstars. During an interview with Fightful.com, Todd Smith, aka Hanson, aka Ivar, discussed his friendship with tag partner Raymond Rowe, aka Eric, and how they share a similar philosophy. "It's crazy to think about how we've really become brothers," Hanson said, adding, "We didn't know each other before the Top Prospect tournament. Ring of Honor put us together and we just kinda hit it off and realized how similar we are. Similar in our careers, similar in our ideals, we both don't drink, we both don't smoke, both straight edge. In this world, especially in the wrestling world, it's hard to find people who are straight edge in general. And to just randomly be thrown into a team together, it's kind of nuts." Number 5. Jinder Mahal. In 2017, Jinder Mahal stunned the wrestling world when he defeated Randy Orton for the WWE Championship on 21 May at Backlash, holding it for nearly 6 months. Mahal's title win wasn't the only shocker. Many fans were amazed by Mahal's radical physical transformation upon his return to WWE in 2016, with the Indian superstar boasting an impressive physique. Mahal noted several changes in his lifestyle, including adopting a straight-edge philosophy. "The secret is consistency. I literally haven't had a cheat meal in 3 to 4 months. I haven't eaten anything I shouldn't have. Even now, on the tour, I have my cooling bag with me, and I carry 5 meals with me so that I eat every 2 hours. I eat 30 to 40 grams of carbohydrates, 30 to 40 grams of protein with every meal. Then there's cardio 6 days a week and weight training 6 days a week. I also became straight edge." Number 6. Matt Kross. Matthew Capiccioni has made a name for himself as Matt Kross, working in a variety of promotions including Combat Zone Wrestling, Ring of Honor, the short-lived Wrestling Society X, Lucha Underground, and a brief run in WWE, including a failed bid to win the 2011 Tough Enough competition. Capiccioni is one of the few wrestlers known to live a straight-edge lifestyle. Number 7. Seth Rollins. The WWE's resident beast slayer is someone who doesn't feel the need to indulge in alcohol or recreational drugs, something he discussed during an appearance on Lillian Garcia's Chasing Glory podcast. "I was 25 to 26, and it was my first international tour with the company. I was still in NXT. We were in Egypt. I went to bed and got called to come downstairs and hang out. I'm like, okay, cool. It was guys that I respected as far as my colleagues were concerned. I was literally asleep at 1 in the morning when the phone rang. I kinda knew what I was getting myself into and that they were gonna get me to try to drink. Fun fact, I've never been drunk. I did have a drink that night. I had a beer. I sipped on it. I'll stay up as late as you guys. We'll all hang out, but I'm not gonna take shots. I'm not getting drunk. I'm not gonna act a fool. that's not in my character, but you can't pressure me to drink. Then it turned into a, you think you're better than us type thing. At the end of the day, aside from one, and again, we won't mention names here, every single person in that room that tried to pressure me into doing something that I didn't want to do apologized to me for it. People sober up. I'm cool with hanging out, with being a part of the team, but that's not the way I roll. Rollins stood by his principles, and he's done well for himself in the process. Number 8. Owen Hart. Owen Hart was known for being a devout family man and a popular figure backstage, but he was also someone who lived the straight-edge lifestyle. Mick Foley wrote of the late Canadian superstar, "He didn't drink, disdained drugs, and he was the only guy in the company who went out less than I did. He truly loved his wife and kids, Oj and Athena, and his face used to light up when he spoke of them, which was often. He spoke of simple pleasures like hot chocolate on a porch swing with his wife and planning Disney vacations for the family." Number 9. Mick Foley. Although Mrs. Foley's baby boy has taken his share of insane and painful bumps, he hasn't relied on booze to heal the pain. In fact, Foley claims to be alcohol-free and drug-free. Foley has gone on record as saying he has a low tolerance for pain meds, and at one point in his career, he threw away his pain medication when he enjoyed the way they made him feel. Number 10. Triple H. While Triple H's time with the Clique would seem to make him a candidate for a party animal, Helmsley reportedly abstains from drug and alcohol use, with friends such as Ric Flair and Kevin Nash confirming this. Triple H has seen some of his closest friends battle substance abuse problems, so it's likely that he has no regrets about abstaining from drugs and alcohol. Number 11. Ultra Mantis Black. Unless you're a fan of Chikara or punk rock, you may not have heard of the masked grappler Ultra Mantis Black. Nonetheless, he's excelled in Chikara, becoming one of its top stars, including holding its Grand Championship belt and the King of Trios. He's also done so while maintaining a straight-edge lifestyle. In 2014, he discussed his lifestyle choice. "As far as being substance-free, that's always been a part of my life. There's absolutely no challenge there. Of course, professional wrestling has always had a history of drug use, whether illicit drugs or steroids, but that's had little bearing on my life or career. As far as being vegan goes, eating the right things in order to maintain the physical form that enables you to take those bumps and bruises in the ring can be a challenge. It takes some work, that's for sure, but it can be done, and I'm proof of that." Well guys, there you have it, 12 wrestlers or teams who claim to be straight edge. What do you think of this choice, and do you think more people should live it? Be sure to leave your comments, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time for some more wrestling content.